Jubilee has been struggling to get some stuff, some elements of its house in order. There was now today quite a few people who are saying that they didn't feel that the nomination process that is being planned is necessarily going to happen as it should. Ken Mureithi is on location and he's looking at interrogating that issue. We want to cross over to him now. Ken, what is happening where you are?
Well, we are live here at the Jubilee headquarters where so many aspirants have turned up just to confirm the status of their registration and nomination. Now, you'll remember that Jubilee Party has called all their aspirants who are gunning for different positions just to come here and confirm the status of their papers and their nomination papers. And there was a message that was going around that some of them are coming here just not only to make sure whether they have been given the go-ahead to go on this party, but also to confirm whether some of them brought in papers that were fake. And we are joined by one of the officials of the Jubilee Party, who is the vice chairman of the Jubilee Party, Mr. David Murathe, who is going to tell us why people are here and also what measures they are taking. Mr. Murathe, why are so many people here today?
One of the reasons people have come here today is to verify. They've already applied. They want to verify that their names are in order, their pictures are in order. We are also confirming that their papers are in order before onward transmission to the IEBC, because we don't want a situation where we can have candidates who are forwarded to the IEBC and then for one reason or another they are disqualified. We had a similar situation in the previous general election where one of our gubernatorial candidates in Kajiado was disqualified because his degree papers turned out not to be authentic. And that gave the ODM candidate a bypass because he had no opponent in Kajiado. And yet we won all the seats in Kajiado. So it was very tragic. We're trying to make sure we don't repeat those kind of mistakes this time around.
What kind of scrutiny is going ahead? What kind of scrutiny is going on in those offices? And are you going to be able to serve all these people who have come just to confirm that status?
Oh yes, oh yes. There's a good feeling around here. You can see the traffic jam out on the road, out here, but we have a very efficient system. The party structures are in place. The party establishment is very organized. You can see there's no chaos, there's no skumano. Everything is orderly and organized. And I can assure you, by the end of the exercise, everybody will go home feeling nice. One of the things we're trying to establish is that they are all party members. As you know, every member of the parties that merged into Jubilee Party was deemed to be a member of the Jubilee Party by extension. So we have to verify. For example, my colleague here, who was in UDF, we have to know that he was a member of the UDF, so that he's deemed to be a member of the Jubilee Party. The other way, of course, is those who have bought membership cards, those who have activated, and those whose names are manually being input into the system as members of the Jubilee Party.
What about the confirmation of papers from either NEC or from any relevant authority? How are you doing it so that when it comes to that stage, these people are already cleared?
No. Ours is to assist the aspirants. The job of verifying and clearing is with the IEBC. But in order that we are satisfied, we are not going to repeat the mistakes of 2013. We are giving them a checklist. And in that checklist is all the requirements of the law. Certificate of good conduct, if you're a governor, a degree, if your integrity issues, because those other institutions that deal with those issues, like the EACC, they have their own parameters. IEBC is the final arbiter when it comes to clearing the candidates. Ours is to process and to guide them and to give them a template and a checklist. If we tick and everything is in order, we forward. If we're satisfied, we are like a vetting process. But the final arbiter will be the IEBC.
There have been concerns from some of the aspirants who are standing here that incumbents, number one, are being given an upper hand when they are coming to clear or to confirm their status, and number two, they are also being given an upper hand when it comes to consideration for nomination in the upcoming nominations.
That is not correct. Everybody here today is an aspirant. There are no incumbents. There are no members of parliament. There are no governors. There are no senators. Everybody who is here is an aspirant because they are all aspiring to become in August. So everybody is being treated equally. Number two, the party list is not yet out, and the deadline for that party list will be like 45 days before the election. The selection criteria, you know, as usual, women, youth, people living with disabilities. So it's highly unlikely that any of these so-called incumbents are going to be on that list.
Okay, I'd have failed myself if I don't ask this question about what is happening right now in the Jubilee Party. There is a disciplinary committee that has been set up, and there are people who have already been forwarded, whose names have been forwarded to this committee. Some are even saying that it is witch hunt. These are the likes of Nairobi Senator Mike Sonko. Is there any truth, and why are these particular people, why have they been chosen to be forwarded their names to this disciplinary committee?
It is the evidence is all out there for everybody to see. If you purport to hire goons, for example, to bomb us, you are held responsible for that activity. If you disrupt a process for the selection of the county election boards in Makoyo, because you brought in people who are not in the first instance supposed to be part of that, because all we required in Makoyo were aspirants. So all these other fellows who came and you brought them and are associated or identified with you, you have to answer for that. There's nothing like witch hunt. But we have to be very firm. We have to be a very disciplined party. There is no way one could tell the difference between Jubilee in Bomas and the men in black in Kasarani during the aborted elections. We have to be very, very different from that kind of hooliganism. So we're going to be very, very strict and very, very firm. Of course, that is why you have a disciplinary organ in the party which can take whatever decision they deem necessary depending on the gravity of the allegations.
But there are also claims that some of these people who have been chosen to face the disciplinary committee is that they are the people who are facing them in the different places they come from are favorites for the party. I'll mention but a few. Some of them who are being claimed is in Nairobi. You have a favorite in the name of PK. Like in Kirinyaga, you have another favorite. That's why Ndathi has been chosen to face the committee. Are there any truths?
There is no truth to that. And by the way, let me assure you, you may have your own favorites, but that may not be the people's favorite. It's like the same story of the cards, where people are saying some rich people are buying cards and others are not buying cards. The fact that you have distributed those cards all over the county or the constituency for that matter or the ward does not guarantee you that those people will vote for you. We are quite happy with the way it has moved on. The party leader and the deputy party leader have assured everybody that we are going to have a free, fair and transparent process. Let the people decide.
Now, we're also joined by one of the aspirants, who is the Mumias East Member of Parliament, Benjamin Washali, who is also a leader in the National Assembly. And Mr. Washali, have you confirmed the status of your papers?
Thank you, NTV, for this opportunity. I want to reconfirm again. My name is Benjamin Jomo Washali, MP for Mumias East, which is in Kakamega County, and also looking forward to retain my seat as a Member of Parliament on the Jubilee Party. I want to confirm here that I was here earlier, much earlier, paid my fee, nomination fee of 250, and today we have come to just counter check the paperwork, and I am just getting cleared in a few minutes to come. And I want to encourage anybody who is still on the way to come quickly so that we get cleared, so that we can face our opponent. I wanted to use this opportunity, if you allowed me. My being here and coming from Kakamega actually clears the feeling that Jubilee is a tribal party. I heard on news yesterday when someone was claiming that Jubilee is a tribal party, and yet she was in a tribal meeting. I want to confirm here that Jubilee is a party of all Kenyans, and that is the motto that we have here, tukuja pamoja as Kenyans and face our opponents politically without necessarily looking at the tribal base that one comes from.
Mheshimiwa, that aside, is that there are claims that you as incumbents are being given an upper hand, other than these other people who are little known but want to compete against you. You're using your links in the party and with your links to the party leaders so that you can get clearance when you come here.
Party leaders are not in this office, and I don't think there's a party leader here. Maybe the only reason why they could be giving, and especially members of parliament, they should know that right now, even for me, I've just come out of parliament. Parliament is in session, and maybe with that understanding, they may be giving members of parliament, the sitting members of parliament, priority so that they can get cleared and go back to parliament. Because equally, parliament is looking at quite some of the election policies that need to make even this election much better than it is now.
Just going back to yesterday, is that there are myriad of issues that are coming up here at the Jubilee headquarters, and the Jubilee Secretariat is just trying to sort out some of these issues that when some of the aspirants who we spoke to just before we went on air, they are telling us that they are having an uphill task trying to face off members who are already incumbents. And the Jubilee party is just giving them an edge over the rest. But these are just claims that have been refuted by David Murathe, who is the vice chair of the party.